Full Contact Podcast, buckle up, you heard, like, follow, and share. Lycoming, you heard, we dare. Pulses of the Portland, why do people leave? Crank up the truth with Beth and Steve.
Welcome back to Lycoming Ya Heard. I'm Steve Marshall.
And I'm Beth Fulmer. We all know keeping up with local happenings can be, well, a lot.
Absolutely.
Right. That's always something going on.
Yeah.
So today we are diving into this recent piece from FAFO Media by Mustin, Hale. It's all about old Lycoming Township and some interesting stuff happening there.
Yeah, Hale's article touches on some pretty important issues for residents. There's this whole thing with property damage. You know, some folks are pointing fingers at township projects. And then, of course, the question of who's accountable pops up.
And that whole transparency thing.
Right, for sure. Transparency is like a constant thread in Hale's reporting.
Exactly. We'll get to that in a bit. But first, let's talk about this resident who's been dealing with what sounds like a pretty frustrating situation.
Yeah, this has been going on for a while, like 6 months, according to the article.
What?
Yeah. Persistent flooding and property damage. They claim it's all because of recent changes the township made. And it all kind of boiled over at the Board of Supervisors meeting on April 8th. This resident, they went right up to the board with their complaints.
I can only imagine dealing with property damage for that long.
It's a nightmare.
So what did the board have to say?
Well, Supervisor Ick, he was the first to respond. And he brought up the former supervisor, Shern, and some work the township did with this consulting firm, Pencourt Consulting, LLC.
Okay.
But here's the thing. Ick kind of threw out this comment, like he needed to figure out who is in charge.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it sounds like there might be some internal confusion going on. He also mentioned how the residents seemed to bring up new issues every time they complained.
So not exactly a straightforward response.
Not really. But then Supervisor Metz chimed in, and he had a completely different take. He said he actually went to the property himself and saw the damage firsthand.
So he didn't just dismiss it. That's a big difference.
Huge. And he even brought up some potential legal avenues like, the Pennsylvania Political Subdivision Tort Claims Act, the Federal Tort Claims Act, even Section 1983. All these are ways citizens can sue government entities, like if there's negligence involved or even constitutional rights violations.
So this could actually get pretty serious for the township.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially if the residents' claims hold up.
Right. Okay, so what else did Hale cover in this FAFO Media article?
Well, there's also this new township manager, Shannon Rossman. Seems like she's ready to take action, promised to follow up with Procore Consulting to, get some answers.
From Procore Consulting?
Yeah. Sounds like they might have been involved in whatever project caused the damage. Anyway, Rossman, she just came from being the Lycoming County Planning and Community Development Director.
Oh, wow. So she probably has a good grasp on these issues.
Exactly. She could bring some much-needed expertise to the table.
Definitely. Now, there was that other issue Hale brought up, the whole transparency thing, right?
Yep. A citizen raised concerns about accessing meeting minutes. Seems like they're only available in print at the township office.
Oh, that doesn't seem very accessible.
Not at all, especially in this day and age.
Right. Everyone expects things online.
Exactly. And Rossman, she acknowledged this, mentioned they're having trouble updating the website and that they might need help from CEDACOG. It's this regional group that helps local governments.
Okay. So it sounds like they're aware of the problem, but not quite sure how to fix it just yet.
Yeah, seems like it. And, the fact that residents are frustrated about this, it really highlights how crucial open communication is.
So true.
People need to trust their local government.
Absolutely. Okay, so before we wrap up, there was one other thing that Hale mentioned in the article. The township approved a bonus for one of their employees, Angela Riome. $4,000, I think?
Yep, that's right.
So looks like they had a pretty full agenda at that meeting.
For sure. But, the main takeaway from Hale's article, at least for our purposes, is this whole situation with the property damage and the transparency concerns.
Right. So just to quickly recap what we learned from Mustin Hale's article in FAFO Media, there's a resident in Old Lycoming Township who's been dealing with property damage for months, possibly due to some township projects.
Exactly. And then there's the question of who's actually responsible for this damage. We heard different perspectives from the supervisors.
And there are also some concerns about transparency and how easily residents can access information.
Yeah. It seems like Old Lycoming Township is facing some tough challenges.
It definitely. And It makes you think, right? It's a good reminder that local government isn't always smooth sailing. There are real people affected by these decisions, and it's important for those in charge to be accountable.
100%. And for residents to have a voice and, to be able to access information easily.
That's a great point. Well, that's all the time we have for today, folks, but we'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you think about this situation in Old Lycoming Township? One of the biggest challenges your local government is facing? Let us know. We'll see you next time.
Sure has no snooky, that's the word. And Missy Lane's sugar cookies slap, you heard, like, follow and share. Lycoming, you heard, we dare. Pulses up the port and why do people leave? Crank up the truth with Beth and Steve.